children at Mi Refugio have special needs, but Rafael Castellanos are unique. He was born without the use of his left arm.
That's been hesitant for him to be able to function, because sometimes in the classroom other kids can do other things that he's not able to do, and he'll just sit there and he won't respond. And then I'll come and I'll try to nurture him and say, okay, you can do this, you know. We'll do it a different way, but we'll be able to help him to feel comfortable.
How are you? ¿Cómo está? Good. Bien.
Hey, Rafael. Me llamo Juan.
When word of Rafael's condition reached Dr. John Kagan, one of the many grassroots supporters Kari has in the United States, he decided to do what he could to help. Together with prosthetic specialist Steve Fries, they flew to Guatemala from Florida to see if they could make a difference in Rafael's life.
I guess what I'm worried about is the fact that his extensor outcropping here, you know, I mean, that's smaller than his spur, essentially.
It was apparent that what Rafael needed was a body-powered prosthesis, which in effect serves as an artificial hand.
We're going to measure this, your arm, so we can make a little hand for you, okay? All right? 3 1/4 inches in circumference. Okay, hold your hand out like this. We'll be able to fit this little boy with a prosthesis that will enable him to function more independently in his classroom and his life out here with his family in the dump. We'll provide him with an additional level of dexterity. We'll need to make the prosthesis very, very durable, and we'll need to accommodate his growth so that he'll be able to use this for a number of years, hopefully in the future. Let's have you sit up here for me just for a second. Good. There you go. Muy bien. This'll work. This'll work. Fantastic.
When the artificial arm was finally completed and the moment of truth had arrived, it was apparent that the hard work had paid off.
Excelente. Good, good.
His smile told the story.
Okay, now relax, tell me relax. Now, tighten up again. Watch this.
After a few minutes of instruction, Rafael was performing practical functions with his arm for the very first time.
Yeah, now with a...
Raise up.
Hold it up. Great, all right. Good. There you go. Give me a hug there, little guy. Good, you did good. You did real good.
His life in the dump will be, for the most part, unchanged. But with a little help from 2 people who showed some concern, his future seems a lot brighter. The darkness of the dump is illuminated by the faith of a woman determined to make a future for the dump's children. Mi Refugio represents hope, faith, and love against all odds.
The school is a place that I wouldn't mind have grown up in myself. That's how comfortable I feel here at the school. The kids are well cared for, they're supervised, they're clean. Again, they're being presented with an opportunity to break out of what might be a very miserable life for them.
Cristóbal Colón, ¿verdad? Y Cristóbal Colón de
They're being taught the basics and fundamentals of mathematics and grammar and skills, working skills. And again, it's all the product of one woman's faith.
Boy, oh boy. You realize, first of all, how fortunate you are to live where you live, to have the opportunities that you have, that your family has. And you realize that you can do something for other people, and that the things that you do can be worthwhile. And you don't have to worry how small those things might be, because in some people's eyes, even the small things that you do are great.
When the school first opened its doors, supplies were scarce. But the resources that Kari needed to keep things going came from where they always had in the past, her faith.
People always ask me what religion I am, but I really don't believe in a religion. I believe that we can all know God if we look within ourselves, and that it's a relationship. A religion puts you in a box, whereas a relationship draws you closer to God. Well, as I said before, we live by faith. I go to a church here, but we're not under the church. The church hasn't sent me out. It's just a mission that God has given me to start. The funds are sent home to my home address, where they're sent back to me directly, and it's easier that way than sending them directly here to Guatemala because of the mail system. A lot of mail is opened and stolen from, and they know who's an American and who's not by the address and everything, and it's just safer to be sent to the States. From there, just our major needs are a lot of prayer. We need a lot of prayer to keep us functioning. There's a lot of spiritual battles that we have, and it really just affects us here. We need a lot of personnel that are dedicated to work with these type of children, to understand the needs that they have and have love and compassion. It's not just teaching a class, it's more of being able to give to the child completely.
Hey there, I sure did. Hi, Rafael. Good to see you. Hola. ¿Cómo está? Bien?
Dr. John Kagan and Steve Fries returned to Guatemala to check on the progress of their patient, Rafael.
He's become more friendly, he's more open, he relates more to the other kids, he doesn't shy away as he used to do. He's even talked more.
Fantastic.
They're pleased to hear about the progress Rafael has made. Still, Rafael's mother has other concerns.
She said she's really concerned because he's just very rebellious and he doesn't listen to her. And even though he has the arm and you've done so much for him, she said, that she's very concerned for his future. Because now he's older, he's 8.
Soon there's another concern that threatens Rafael and all the dump's residents.
Puede tener cólera.
Well, right now there's a real concern about the cholera coming to Guatemala, and there's been a lot of prevention about it, and a lot of talks in the schools and in the areas, and we've had a lot of talks with the parents and trying to get them prepared. And that's a real concern because we're just praying that it won't hit us, especially the people in the dump, because they would be more susceptible to it than anybody else.
The concerns about cholera are soon justified.
We got a guy that's very sick and needs to go to the hospital now, so we need some help getting him out of here.
When we came in today, one of the little children came up and said that his brother was dying. And so we went into the house, and sure enough, he was right.
I mean, I'm telling you, he doesn't have a pulse. I'm telling you, he's sick.
His brother was in shock.
The blanket's gonna tear? Absolutely.
Oh, Corey, drive. Corey.
So we picked him up and carried him to the local hospital, and I helped out on getting some lines and IVs started. And it turns out that he has cholera, but he's probably going to make it.
The cholera epidemic is no longer a threat, and Maximilian de la Roca is back to his daily routine of working in the dump. Although he remembers very little of what happened to him, he has a few words for Dr. Kagan.
He says he appreciates him a lot because if he wouldn't have helped him, he would have died.
They're hiding. Hey, I see you.
John Bafar continues to file stories about Kari's works on a television station in Fort Myers, Florida.
The air in the fourth world is thick and heavy.
Tonight, from this Guatemala City dump, I'll tell you how.
Soon after, other reporters from his home state follow.
Their only hope lies in the hearts of caring people, people such as Kari Engel.
And they begin filing stories about an amazing American who saves kids from a place called the Fourth World.
Our top story tonight, an outpouring of community support and prayers following our special report on the Fourth World.
Our lobby packed with shoes and clothes and tools to help the people who call the Guatemalan city dump home.
The reports of Kari's mission, which air in the United States, draw an enormous response from television viewers. Donations are packed in boxes, and it takes a cargo plane